Chosen one, breathe for a moment and listen closely, because what you're about to hear is not accidental, not random, not a coincidence drifting through your timeline. This message did not wander into your hands, it was delivered. There is a reason your spirit paused. There is a reason your chest tightened just a little when you saw the title. There is a reason something in you whispered, this is for me. Because heaven has been watching you stand at the edge of something life-altering. And right before the shift, right before the breakthrough, right before the moment everything finally begins to make sense, people start disappearing, connections unravel, familiar faces turn distant, souls you once trusted suddenly step back into the shadows. And you've been asking yourself quietly, painfully, almost accusingly, why now? Why them? Why does it always happen right when I'm getting closer? Chosen one, this message is the answer to that cry. This is the moment where mystery becomes recognition, where the spiritual fog lifts and you finally see the pattern heaven has been trying to show you. You haven't been abandoned. You haven't been rejected. You haven't been forgotten. You are being prepared, because right before a major breakthrough, the universe cleans your environment. It removes distractions disguised as friendships, attachments disguised as comfort, and energies that cannot walk with you into who you are becoming. The people you lose are not failures. They are signals. Signals that the atmosphere around you is shifting. Signals that your elevation is near. Signals that spiritual forces have begun rearranging your path. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, and comment, I received this, if your spirit is already responding. Not for me, but as a declaration to the universe that you are ready to understand what's really happening in your life. Because this message is about to speak directly to the part of you that's been carrying silent confusion, silent heartbreak, silent questions. The part of you that feels the separation but doesn't yet see the purpose. You're not losing people because something is wrong. You're losing people because everything is about to become right. So stay with me. The revelation is coming, and it's bigger than you think. Chosen one, when we talk about spiritual pruning, we're not talking about something casual or small. We're talking about a holy process, a divine restructuring, a supernatural trimming where heaven itself steps into your life and begins cutting away what can no longer walk with you into your next season. And I know this process doesn't feel beautiful when you're standing inside of it. It feels like loss. It feels like confusion. It feels like people slipping through your fingers just when you thought you needed them most. But chosen one, listen closely. Spiritual pruning is not the universe taking from you. It is the universe preparing you. Take a breath and think about the moments in your life when you felt stripped, emptied, or left with fewer people than before. Did it ever cross your mind that maybe heaven was removing branches that were no longer producing fruit? Branches that were draining your energy, weighing on your spirit, or slowing down your growth? When a gardener prunes a tree, they are not hurting it. They are shaping it. They are removing the dead parts so the living parts can flourish. And chosen one, heaven has been doing the same with you. Doesn't that shift how you see your losses? Doesn't it make you wonder how many things were actually holding you back without you noticing? This process is sacred. It's intimate. It's precise. You don't lose people because something is wrong with you. You lose people because your soul has risen to a frequency they can no longer reach. There are layers of you they cannot understand anymore. Levels of spiritual maturity they were never meant to grow into. And if heaven allowed them to stay, they would only keep you rooted in the version of yourself you've already outgrown. Chosen one, ask yourself, would you really want to stay small just to keep people comfortable? Spiritual pruning happens the moment you start approaching elevation. It's that invisible shift where something inside you begins to expand while your external world begins to contract. You feel more sensitive, more aware, more connected to your inner truth. Suddenly, what used to satisfy you feels empty. What used to excite you feels distant. The conversations you entertained begin to drain you, and the environments you tolerated begin to suffocate you. This is heaven whispering, you cannot carry this into the next chapter. And chosen one, have you noticed how heavy some of those attachments had become? What makes pruning so emotional is that you're not just losing people, you're losing patterns, identities, and comfort zones. But this is what preparation looks like. This is what refinement feels like. You cannot rise with weights tied to your spirit. You cannot elevate with distractions holding your focus hostage. You cannot evolve while anchored to what no longer grows. And so heaven begins trimming, cutting, removing. Not to harm you, but to free you, to lighten your spirit, to clear your atmosphere, to sharpen your discernment, to prepare you for the place your destiny has already called you into. Chosen one, the universe is saying, I need you lighter. I need you freer. I need you unbound and spiritually clean for where I'm taking you next. And you know this in your heart. You feel the pull. You feel the shift. You feel the release. Even if it hurts, even if it confuses you, something inside knows this pruning is necessary. So let me ask you gently, what has heaven been trying to cut away from your life? What have you been holding on to even though your soul keeps whispering, it's time to let go? And how different would your spirit feel if you finally surrendered to the pruning? Chosen one, your breakthrough requires space, and pruning is heaven's way of making room. Chosen one, there comes a moment in your spiritual journey when the energy around you begins to shift before you even understand why. This is the quiet, invisible work of the universe, an unseen filtration system activating in the background of your life. And it happens right before a breakthrough, before elevation, before transformation. Heaven begins sorting, separating, and releasing the energies that cannot walk with you into your next chapter. You may not see the full picture, but your spirit feels it. You sense the change in the atmosphere. You feel the distance growing between you and certain people. You feel conversations fading, connections loosening, and emotions detaching. And chosen one, this is not rejection. This is protection. Think about the moments when someone's presence suddenly felt heavy, or when a relationship that once felt natural began to feel out of rhythm. Have you noticed how, without explanation, you feel less drawn to certain people? How your intuition becomes louder, nudging you away from what once felt familiar? That is alignment at work. That is your spirit rising while incompatible energies fall away. And chosen one, doesn't it feel like your soul is leading you somewhere quieter, clearer, and more honest? Some people carry vibrations that clash with your calling. Their intentions may be good, their hearts may be sincere, but their energy is not calibrated to your destiny. And heaven will never allow misaligned frequencies to interfere with your divine assignment. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more sensitive your spirit becomes. You begin to crave peace over noise, truth over attachment, alignment over history. It's not that they're bad, it's simply that their energy no longer resonates with the frequency of your becoming. And chosen one, have you ever wondered why certain people drift away right when you start focusing on yourself? Right when your mind becomes sharper? Right when your purpose starts calling louder? It's because your elevation exposes what cannot rise with you. Incompatible energies are revealed, not as enemies, but as reminders that your path requires a level of purity and spiritual clarity that not everyone is meant to carry. This removal is not abandonment. It is the universe shielding you from sabotage you cannot yet see. If some energies remained attached to you, they would dilute your focus, dim your light, or distort your discernment. They would pull you backwards when heaven is trying to push you forward. Their presence would cause friction at the doorway of your destiny. And so heaven intervenes before you even understand the danger, before you even realize what was at stake. You think you're losing people, but you're actually losing interference. Chosen one, your spirit is entering a higher alignment. That is why you feel this shift. It's why your soul feels both lighter and lonelier at the same time. Incompatible energies are falling away so that divine connections can approach. You are being cleared, cleansed, and prepared for blessings that require a peaceful inner atmosphere. Doesn't that make the recent distance make more sense? Doesn't it make the sudden silence feel less like abandonment and more like orchestration? Ask yourself gently, what energy has been draining you lately? Who leaves you feeling confused, unsettled, or spiritually tired? And on the other side, Who brings clarity, calmness, and alignment? Your spirit already knows the difference. Heaven is simply helping you follow that knowledge. Chosen one, remember this. Every energy that leaves your life creates space for a blessing that matches your frequency. Their exit is not a loss. It is a sacred clearing. It is the universe making sure nothing, absolutely nothing, interferes with the blessing that is already on its way to you. Chosen one. When a breakthrough is drawing near, the universe begins whispering before it ever reveals. The signs rise quietly, almost subtly, yet they shake your inner world in a way you can't overlook. And one of the strongest indicators is loss. Sudden, silent, unexpected loss. People fade from your life without explanation. Plans fall apart in ways you didn't anticipate. Paths that once looked steady begin crumbling under your feet. But chosen one, this loss is not life falling apart. It is life rearranging itself. It is the spiritual realm doing construction behind the scenes, clearing out what cannot stand in the presence of your next blessing. Have you ever wondered why everything becomes strangely quiet right before a major shift? Why conversations slow, opportunities pause, and the world around you feels like it's holding its breath? That quietness is not emptiness. It is spiritual recalibration. It is heaven thinning the noise so you can finally hear the guidance you've been missing. You're not being isolated. You are being positioned. You're being tucked away, hidden for a moment. Not because you're forgotten, but because you're being prepared. Doesn't it feel like something in the air around you is shifting, even if you can't explain it yet? Another sign is the rise of inner discomfort. That unsettling feeling inside you that says, something is changing. You feel the pull, even when you don't know where it's taking you. Old habits no longer satisfy you. Old circles no longer speak to you. Old desires no longer move your spirit. It's as if your soul is gently but firmly pushing you toward a door you haven't opened yet. That discomfort is not anxiety, it's transformation. It's your spirit outgrowing what your environment has kept you tied to. Have you felt that tug lately? That quiet inner voice saying, this is no longer who you are? Then there's the emotional detachment. You may suddenly feel disconnected from conversations that once excited you, hobbies that once entertained you, or relationships you once clung to. This detachment is not numbness, it is alignment. Your spirit is withdrawing its energy from places that cannot support your elevation. You're not being cold or distant, you're being redirected. Something deeper is calling you. Something bigger is pulling you forward. Something divine is preparing your heart for what is coming. And chosen one, pay attention to the sudden urge for solitude, not loneliness. Solitude. That longing to pull back, reflect, and listen inward. When you're on the brink of breakthrough, heaven often quiets your external world so the internal shift can take place. It's in this stillness that clarity begins to form. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your dreams become louder. Your spirit becomes more aware. Doesn't it feel like your inner world is speaking with more clarity than your outer world lately? These signs, the loss, the silence, the discomfort, the detachment, are not symptoms of instability. They are signals of preparation. They are the universe aligning you with the destiny you've prayed for, often in ways that feel unfamiliar but deeply necessary. Every sudden ending, every unexpected shift, every quiet moment is part of a larger design guiding your steps. Chosen one, if you've been feeling this subtle storm inside your spirit, if you've been sensing change, even without evidence, if you've been losing things that once felt permanent, then know this. Your breakthrough is not just near, it is already unfolding around you. The signs are not random. They are intentional. They are prophetic. They are the universe saying, get ready, something greater is coming. Chosen one, sudden endings are some of the most painful moments in your spiritual journey. Not because they are wrong, but because they arrive without warning. They don't knock. They don't prepare you. They don't ease their way into your life. They tear open the atmosphere and shift your reality in a single moment. One day someone is present, familiar, comforting, and the next their absence echoes through your spirit like a quiet earthquake. It feels like heartbreak wrapped in confusion, like the universe took something from you before you had the chance to understand why. But chosen one, listen closely. What feels like chaos is often divine choreography. When heaven wants to redirect your life, the changes are swift. The doors close quickly, decisively, almost abruptly. Not to shock you, but to spare you from staying in places that have outlived their purpose. A slow ending invites attachments to linger. A delayed ending allows old emotions to cling. But a sudden ending? That is heaven stepping in and saying, this chapter must close now, because you won't close it on your own. Have you ever wondered why certain relationships ended the moment you hesitated to leave them? Why certain paths collapsed the moment you started questioning them? That wasn't coincidence. That was intervention. Some people were never meant to walk the entire journey with you. Their presence in your life was seasonal, not eternal. A lesson, not a lifetime. And chosen one, this is where the pain and the wisdom meet. Your heart may not have been ready for the ending, but your destiny was. You might still be holding on to what their presence meant, but heaven is holding on to what their absence will make room for. Have you paused to ask yourself, what if their departure is creating the space you prayed for? Sudden endings feel like loss, but in the spiritual realm, they are often the beginning of a higher refinement. They come fast, clean, unavoidable, because dragging them out would only delay your growth. Sometimes the universe removes someone to protect you from a version of them you cannot yet see. Sometimes a connection dissolves because staying attached would interfere with who you are becoming. Sometimes your evolution requires separation before your mind understands the reason. Doesn't that shift how you see those abrupt goodbyes? In Chosen One, think about it. How many times has a sudden ending eventually revealed a blessing you couldn't see at first? How many times did clarity come months later, showing you exactly why that door had to close? Sudden endings are painful in the moment, but they are intentional in the bigger picture. They break you open so truth can enter. They shake your foundation so purpose can rise. They close chapters your courage wasn't strong enough to close. Instead of asking, why did this happen? Begin asking, what is this making space for? That single shift in perspective turns heartbreak into revelation. It transforms endings into new beginnings. It turns confusion into clarity. Because Chosen One, heaven never subtracts without preparing to multiply. What leaves your life is always connected to what is on its way. Sudden endings are not the end of your story. They are the realignment of it. They are the recalibration of your destiny, the repositioning of your spirit, the clearing of your future. And when heaven decides a connection has served its purpose, its ending becomes a sacred signal. Your next chapter is closer than you think. Chosen One, trust the endings you didn't choose. They are leading you to the life that is choosing you. Chosen One, there comes a season in your journey when life starts to feel strangely empty, strangely quiet, strangely stripped of everything that once surrounded you. People step back, distractions fall away, old habits lose their pull, and the things that once consumed your attention no longer hold the same weight. At first, this feels like loss, like something is being taken from you. But Chosen One, in the spiritual realm, this is not loss. This is clearing. This is the universe making room. This is heaven preparing the road before you, smoothing the path beneath your feet so you can walk into your next chapter without unnecessary weight on your spirit. When the universe removes people, distractions, or attachments, it is not acting randomly. It is reorganizing your atmosphere with precision. Your destiny has requirements, your peace has conditions, your purpose has a standard, and the version of you that the future needs cannot walk through a cluttered path. Emotional clutter, mental clutter, relational clutter, all of it slows your acceleration, so the clearing begins quietly, gently, intentionally. Hasn't your life been shifting in ways you didn't ask for? Haven't you felt things being loosened from your grip even when you tried to hold on? The road ahead demands a version of you that is focused, grounded, and spiritually awake. The universe cannot place power, clarity, or elevation into hands that are full of old weight. And so the cleansing starts. Conversations that once consumed you fade into the background. Temptations that once distracted you lose their power, and connections you thought would last forever begin dissolving without conflict. It feels unsettling when it happens. It feels like an emotional storm, even when it's happening in silence. But Chosen One, have you noticed how lighter your spirit feels once the initial shock settles? This is the preparation stage. This is the sacred reorganizing of your atmosphere. You are being repositioned, not removed, not forgotten, not abandoned, repositioned. When life takes a sudden step back from you, it is often because you are being aligned with a future that requires more from you and less around you. A clear path is a sign of upcoming movement. The emptiness you feel is not a void, it is space being created. Space for miracles, space for clarity, space for divine connections that match your soul's next frequency. And Chosen One, I want you to reflect on something. How many times have you begged for growth, clarity, peace, elevation, without realizing that those prayers require the clearing you're experiencing now? The universe can't give you more until you release what drains you. It can't elevate you while you stand surrounded by energies that keep you small. Sometimes the blessing isn't what is added to your life, it's what is taken away. You may feel alone in this season, but that loneliness is deceptive. You are not alone. You are being separated so you can hear your spirit without interference. You are being prepared so you don't miss the signs ahead. You are being refined so that when the opportunity appears, you'll be ready to embrace it fully. Doesn't it make sense now why certain people had to fade? Why certain distractions had to lose power? Why certain doors had to close? Chosen One, your path is being straightened for easier passage. The universe is removing the obstacles you didn't even notice. It's clearing the branches before you take the next step. It's building something around you and within you at the same time. What feels like loss is actually divine construction. What feels like separation is actually alignment. What feels empty is actually being prepared to be filled. Chosen One, the path is clearing because something is coming. Something that requires all of you focused, grounded, and awake. Chosen One, what awaits you after the separation is nothing short of divine alignment. The breaking, the loss, the emptiness, none of it was wasted. Every person who left, every path that collapsed, every silence that wrapped itself around your life was preparation for what comes next. And what comes next is clarity. What comes next is elevation. What comes next is a season where your soul finally breathes freely again. You may not see it yet, but the moment separation completes its work, alignment begins. Think of separation as a clearing of spiritual soil. When roots are pulled up, new space appears. When branches are trimmed, sunlight reaches deeper. When old energy is released, your frequency rises. And in that higher vibration, you begin attracting things that match your true identity. Not your wounds, not your fears, not your past version, but the you that heaven has been shaping silently. Have you noticed how, after a major loss, your intuition becomes sharper? How your heart becomes more honest? How you start seeing people and opportunities with clearer eyes? That is the beginning of alignment. Chosen One, after the separation, blessings begin to flow in ways that feel almost supernatural. Opportunities that once felt out of reach begin to approach you. Doors that were once locked begin to open without force. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop settling and start selecting. Your confidence rises, not because the world finally validates you, but because you finally understand who you are without the noise of old attachments. Doesn't it feel like your spirit is stretching, expanding, preparing for more? And something beautiful happens. You begin meeting people who are aligned with your spirit, souls who resonate with your truth, not your insecurity, souls who understand you deeply without needing to decode you, souls who support your evolution instead of fearing it. These new connections feel peaceful, grounding, and karmically familiar. They enter your life without drama, without confusion, without the emotional heaviness you once tolerated. Chosen One, these are the people who help you rise, not hold you back. Aren't you ready to experience relationships that feel like home rather than survival? After separation comes acceleration. This is the stage where your purpose sharpens. You gain direction, your energy returns, your creativity wakes up. You feel more aligned, more intentional, more spiritually awake than ever before. Your life stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling guided. The universe begins responding to your new frequency with precision. The blessings that were blocked by old attachments begin releasing. The weight you didn't know you were carrying finally lifts. And chosen one, after loss comes increase. Heaven never removes without replacing. But what it replaces with is always higher quality, higher alignment, higher purpose. The people who left were placeholders. The confusion was the tunnel. The silence was the reset. Once the dust settles, you realize nothing was truly taken from you. It was only making space for better. Better relationships, better opportunities, better clarity, better energy, better versions of yourself. This is the revelation waiting for you on the other side. You were never being abandoned. You were being aligned. Every separation was a doorway. Every ending was a reroute. Every loss was an invitation to more. So, chosen one, ask yourself, what if this season of emptiness is actually the invitation to your greatest expansion? What if everything you thought you lost was simply making room for everything you prayed for? Because after separation comes the life you were always meant to live.